I come down here and I can't get started. I can't get warmed up, and that bugs me. Like I've been sitting down here for about half an hour. Never really know how this stuff is going to come out, if it's going to come out right. I don't know why I'm worried about it. But I'm not loose. I want to be loose. You know what I mean? I just want to be loosey-goosey. But I'm going to sit down here, worried about turning it on. Sometimes you just got to turn it on, hope you warm up, and hope something kind of intelligent comes out of your mouth. And yes, I'm having a couple of drinks. It's Friday night. It's Friday. I know every night's a weekend for me. But I don't drink every weekend. Did that make sense? I don't drink every night. Bugs me that I haven't been on here for a while. I don't like that. My plan was to do a video a day. But sometimes I don't know what to say. Well, I do. I have lots to say. But I don't want to. And I got to say, but. See how hard I am on myself here? Right now in my head, I'm thinking I need to shut it off and do it over. But I can't do it over. I can't do it over. Because it's fake. So I'm not going to do it over. Are you guys having a good weekend? Are you working this weekend? Hopefully you're not working this weekend. Remember I told you that? I hated that part. Have a good weekend. I'm working. But now every night's a weekend. And that's not so good. That every night for me is the weekend. Because then the weekend isn't special when it comes around. That's what I loved when I was in depot. And you were in depot from Monday to Friday. Once that Friday came, you were the happiest person alive. Because that week was so bad. The week is so hard that the weekend is so much more special. That's what work does. That's what is great about work. You appreciate your day off. I guess I stopped appreciating days off. Don't get me wrong, I love doing nothing. People say, aren't you bored? I can't do nothing, they say. I wouldn't be able to sit around and do nothing. I oddly enjoy doing nothing. That's the truth. Guys, I'm on iTunes now. I'm on Spotify. I don't understand how I did it. I have nobody to help me out with this stuff. I go to my Apple and Spotify, iTunes, and it's not really making any sense. All my videos are up there. I don't know how to get rid of. I don't want every single video on Apple iTunes, and I don't know how to delete certain videos. Well, you can only hear it. You can't watch the video. You can only listen to it. And some of the videos don't make any sense because in the videos, I'm breaking down certain videos and you can't see the videos. Anyways, I just wanted you to know, hey, maybe you're hanging out depot. Maybe you're laying in bed at depot. And you want to listen to some of me? I don't even want to listen to me. Or you're in your car, guys. You're in your car driving around. You feel like listening to a podcast? You could put me on now. But I have nobody to tell me what I did was right. I go to it. Nobody's listened to anything because I don't even know if I think it's accessible. I'm not certain. You punch in Clinton Jaws. I come up. There's a picture of me. Yeah. But isn't it funny that there's nobody, because I'm in a small town, that there's nobody really to help me? I called up my computer guy. I bought a secondhand computer from this guy, a Dell, to help me out with the podcast uploads and stuff like that. So I grabbed the computer from him. He's like the only computer guy in town. And I say, hey man, I text him, can you help me out? Can you create a website for me? No, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. I'm like, oh, okay, do you know anything about lighting? Because I got bright light, and I'm lit right up. And I look ghostly. No, I don't know anything about lighting or podcasts or anything like that. So there's really nobody to go to but YouTube. And that's how I've been learning. But God, I would love a guy to come in here, set this shit up to make me look better, help me out with Spotify, iTunes, and maybe Adobe Premiere Pro. Because that shit ain't easy, I'll tell you that. Okay, I'm warming up. I'm warming up. And my parents hate it when I drink, but it loosens me up a bit, you know what I mean? And I like to be loose. And I don't drink wine during the week. Why do I always feel the need to tell you how much I don't drink? $11 bottle of wine, but damn, it's good. Oh, man, I love wine, but it is so bad. I don't know if I should say this, but my brother-in-law is making me a deck. It's 1,375 square feet. It's going to be the biggest deck in the neighborhood. Really proud of it. Sinking a hot tub into that mother effer. And maybe that's why I haven't been on here. Because I've been watching him build me this deck. I hop in his truck the other day. Because we got to go get something. And he passes me this. He gives this to me. Can you see this? And I'm like, why is he passing me a pair of panties? I shouldn't say this, but they were moist. Not only was he passing me a pair of panties, but they were moist. I'm not going to say wet panties. They were moist panties. That was my first thought. I'm like, what the? And I'm like, oh, it's a mask. And I have never worn one before. Look at these things. This is ridiculous. It is like a pair of girl panties. So we go into the store and I put this mask on me. I don't even know if I should go down this road, but I come home that day. We got a couple of things, and the wife wants to go to Canadian Tire. I don't want to go shopping. I don't like shopping. I'd rather stay at home. I don't want to walk around Canadian Tire. I don't want to see people in the community. That come out right? I like seeing people in the community, okay? I love people, okay? I just don't want to see it. I don't feel like having conversations with them, okay? While I'm wearing a mask. And I don't want people seeing me in this mask because maybe I'm just self-conscious. I don't know. Maybe that's it. I got some bad hair, and now I'm wearing a mask. I look like a lunatic. I felt like a lunatic. So she convinces me, and I don't want to argue with her. So I say, yeah, okay. Let's go to Canadian Tire and look for some gifts. So we're in Canadian Tire, and I'm wearing this moist panty on my face. And it's the most ridiculous. I'm thinking, this is the most ridiculous thing of my life that I've ever done. And everybody else is dressed up too. Have you noticed, though, some girls look really hot with a mask? Have you noticed that? That's dumb to say, but it's true. But they do. You just see their eyes, and their eyes are all done up with makeup, and they just look really good. But me, no. I don't like wearing a panty over my face. It's a panty covering my face. That's what it is. It literally, that's what it is. And I didn't enjoy it. Normally I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. But I didn't enjoy that. And is it working? Okay, is it working? Let's test it. Did I leave my lighter upstairs? I was going to test this. Yeah, I did. Damn. And I forgot to light the candles. But does it work? Like, air is coming right out of it. I shouldn't be doing this because I'm making fun of people wearing masks, but Bonnie Henry said wear a mask, and that's what I'm doing. They can't control the virus, but they can control me wearing a mask, and I'm doing it. Okay, you're controlling me. You're winning. Okay, you're winning. wearing the mask. You want to bug your wife? Hey guys, you want to bug your wife? This is so... Why do I enjoy bugging my wife every now and then? It's kind of fun, right? To bug? To bug? I like bugging. I like to bug. I like to be a jokester. I don't look at it as bugging. I look at it as joking around. So I have the mask on. And for some reason, I thought groaning for no reason would be funny. Like, I think I seen a YouTube video not too long ago, and there was a guy walking through Walmart who was doing this. And and so we're walking down, I don't know, aisle 13. There's people everywhere, buying all the deals, all the bargains. And so I go up to the wife right behind her, and I go, I know it's not coming out funny, but in a really loud voice, I go, Have you seen that YouTube video? Google it. I don't know how you Google, but that's what I started doing. She's like, Clint, don't be doing that. And I'm like, okay. A couple minutes later, do it, man. Do that in Canadian Tire. Your wife is going to go insane. She got so mad at me that she started walking out of the store, and I had to grab onto her. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. But I couldn't stop laughing, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that finds that funny when you bug your wife a bit. So we go to the till. She's taking shit out of the buggy, and she has to pay. And I know she can't leave. And in front of the till guy, I'm like, we go in the car after, and she unloaded on me. Clint, I'm a nurse in this town, and what you're doing is people are going to look at you like you got mental health problems. I go, okay, sorry. Well, you tell me a cop that doesn't have mental health problems, you know what I mean? Like, every cop suffers from some sort of mental health. So do nurses. There was actually a nurse in there in Canadian Tire. I can't say this. I can't say this part. Anyways, somebody told me that she suffers from mental health. Everybody, who doesn't suffer from some sort of mental health, right? Cops do. Just about every single one of them do. They don't even know they do. You don't even know you do. When you retire, then you go back to normal, somewhat. You realize, holy shit, I was a wingnut. But nurses? Oh, man, the shit they see. Ambulance people? Paramedics? Guaranteed. Some sort of... You can't be normal after seeing everything that you see. Probably shouldn't have told that story. No. I started doing that shit everywhere I went, down the aisle. Maybe we should get the kids a beanbag chair. Oh. Where are the sunbeam batteries? Oh. It's not funny. It's not funny. I don't even know what to talk about anymore. I don't even know what to talk about. People keep on telling me, like, you gotta make your videos shorter and cut them up in 10-minute fragments. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Good point. Nobody just wants to watch their TV with me saying nothing, but this is what I'm doing. Maybe I'll change. Maybe I'll figure out a better way. But Christmas is coming, isn't it? And how exciting is that, I guess? Yeah, the kids love it. And hey, guys, members, cops, city cops, RCMP, remember to do this. Bring a breathalyzer home for Christmas. Assuming you're going to have Christmas with your family, hopefully. Hopefully you are. You're not going to listen to everything they say. Some of the best times I ever had was bringing a breathalyzer home for Christmas dinner, and all my relatives would be there, and We would just blow on this breathalyzer all night. It's a hoot. Do it. I can't get in trouble for this shit anymore, right? I don't think I can. No, I can't. You know what was amazing? My dad drank all night. He didn't even blow a warn. And he drove us home. It was great. It was great. Yeah. It was a good moment. So yes, I wear... What was that? I wear a mask now. And this is just the most ridiculous thing. Come on. Oops. It's ridiculous. But I wear it on my face. Like, what the fuck is going on in the world? I wear it on the face. And really, I thought it when he passed it to me, I thought, well, this can't be a mask. You're giving me my sister's panties? That's exactly what I thought at first. But it wasn't. But yeah, I wear a mask now. I wear a mask and I'm controlled. Are they doing anything? Why is there such a spike in COVID cases right now? How about that? Why is there a spike? If everybody's wearing a mask, which they are, why is there a spike in COVID cases? What are they really doing? I feel like I can't say that stuff, but I like hearing it. I love hearing the other side to things. You know, there's two sides, right? There's a left and there's a right. I didn't know that. I never knew that before. Watching the news the other day, Cuomo in New York, I don't know, he's a governor or mayor or something like that. And he gave orders at Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, you're not going to have more than 10 people at your household. And if you do, cops are going to come in there and they're going to fine you. So the chief of New York police, maybe they call it sheriff down there, he's not going to enforce that rule that Cuomo created. And I thought, right on, man. Good for you. Good for you. I understand why Cuomo's doing it. He doesn't want the cases. He doesn't want extra. Fuck, I don't know. I don't even want to get into it anymore. I guess I'm just tired of people telling you what. Is that the right thing? Is that how you control the virus? You can't control the virus, but we're going to control you. Is that really the right tactic to use? Certain ages have a 0% chance of dying. Basically, it's like 0.2. Older people, 70 and up, have 1,000 more chance of dying compared to a younger person. But we're containing everybody. We're containing everybody. There's two sides to every story. Isn't it? I'm finding it really... Fuck. I know... Nope. Okay, you don't have to share my view. That's fine. Don't share my view. I don't blame you. But you have to listen to both sides. Do you even know there's another side? It's possible you don't. And I hate to admit it, but I didn't know there was another side. I had no idea that there was another side. Why is that? Why is that? I found out there was a second side to things by fluke. I'm downstairs. This is about 2.5 years ago. It might have been 3. Okay, let's back up. Let's back up to over 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I got a case of beer, and I'm enjoying the night. I'm a cop. I have a day off. I'm watching the presidential election. Hillary Clinton, CNN told me that Hillary Clinton was going to win the election, hands down. All the polls said that. There was no doubt about it. And I kind of flipping through the channels. I wasn't going to watch the election, but it started getting interesting because Trump started winning these states. And I'm like, holy fuck. Is there a possibility that Trump's going to win? So I watched it all night long. 1, 2 in the morning, 4 years ago. Trump ends up winning. Anchors on CNN start crying. I'm like, holy shit. I get it together. It was a great day for me. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was funny. It was entertaining. Very entertaining to watch this. So for the next 2 years, I watched CNN. Why do I watch CNN? Because that's all I had. Some cable contracts, I used to work for Shaw Cable, and I can't come up with the terminology right now, but some packages in cable, they don't give you anything else but CNN. CNN and a few other channels. In college, all I watched, I got a criminology diploma, all we watched was CNN. CNN was amazing. If you want to learn anything about the world, you watch CNN. That continued through my life. I watched CNN. I trusted CNN. They're news. They're not lying to you, ever. Never once thought that there's a possibility that they're lying to me. There's no way a news outlet is going to exaggerate or lie to me. That's what I thought. That was my thinking. And so for 2 years, 2.5 years, I hear that Trump is a Russian spy. He's a spy. He works for the Russians. He's friends with Putin. Putin or Putin? He's friends with this dude. Like, holy shit. Why would he do that to himself? He rigged the election. He colluded with Russia and the election. There was no doubt in my mind that that was factual. Because CNN told me they have proof, they have sources. There's no doubt about it. And then one day, I'm down in the basement and I'm working out. Yeah, can you believe that? I'm doing something with, I got a couple of 15-pound dumbbells down here, and I was just giving her. And I'm working out. And I got the YouTube on the TV through Chromecast. All of a sudden, my thing that I was watching turns on to something else. It turns on to another news channel. And by fluke, I start kind of listening to this. And they don't hate Trump. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He's racist. He wants to build a wall, which is terrible. It's horrific, right? And he's a Russian spy. Why would you say anything good about Trump? Then they started saying shit that started making sense. I had listened to one side all my life. And then I got a taste of the other side. Now I got two sides, and I can make a decision. And I couldn't believe what the other side was saying. I was shocked. I'm like, holy cow. He isn't a Russian spy. I was lied to. They exaggerated. It was not even an exaggeration. Let's call it what it is. It was a lie. Walls can be healthy. I see what he's doing now with the wall. I get it. I get that he wanted to, and I'm not saying I'm pro-Trump or anti-Trump or anything, but I get that this dude who doesn't talk so good wanted to actually make his country better than it was. I couldn't believe that I had been suckered in. I couldn't believe that CNN backstabbed me like that. That I'd been listening to them for that long. There was no collusion. And there was nothing. He's not a Russian spy. Why was I so stupid to think that he was a Russian spy? Why would I believe that? Just because some anchor on Channel 17 back then was saying so. I started realizing that there's a second view to things. I was pro-choice all my life. Of course, if a lady wants to have an abortion, she has the right to have an abortion. Does she have a right to have abort that child at 9 months? Shit like that, right? And I'm thinking, well, I got kids now. I couldn't imagine killing a kid because that's what you're doing at 9 months. I get it when the kid has a tail, but when the kid is fully, and that's what a lot of people don't know. They don't know what pro-life, or am I even saying that right? But they don't even understand that you can abort a child at 9 months. To me, that's murder. Who would do that? Who would allow that? How can you be on that side? So this is just one example of where I started thinking. There's actually two fucking sides, and I had no idea. And I think the majority of Canadians were like me. All we do is listen to CNN. It's almost like we have to listen to CNN because there's really nothing else to listen to that has a view, and they have a left view. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm not left. I'm not saying I'm not right. Tell you the truth, I'll be perfectly honest. I don't even know what I am, if I'm anything. I don't know what I am. I just know what I feel. I know how I feel. I know how I feel about abortion. Where do you draw the line? I'm not saying I'm against abortion. But where do you draw the line? You definitely don't draw it at 9 months. Right up to conception. I can't go along with that ever. But I don't want to talk about abortion. I can't believe I'm talking about abortion. I could talk about the wall. I could talk about the bad things and the good things. And I see a lot of good things. It makes a lot of sense. I live in a small town. If we bordered Mexico, I would want a wall. I don't want people jumping over that wall, which they are, coming into Port Alberni and taking all the jobs, bringing in crime, going along. My whole point is everyone has different views, different sides, and that's fine. Okay? I didn't know there was two sides. But when I retired, I realized there's two sides. And I used to have one side. I had a caller call my hotline number, 604-330-2512. And I thought he said he's working up north. He used to work in the Lower Mainland, and he took his family up north. Why? I don't know. But now he's working up north. Good God. He's probably doing whatever he can to get back. But it's a community that he's not being treated very well. Let's just say that. The other members up there are white. I think he's a white man. He has white children. If he's not white, he's non-white. I don't know. Okay, I think he's not indigenous. Okay. I know I can't say that word. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. But this member, they've basically have been tormented up there. They live in forced housing. I think they live in forced. If they don't live in forced housing, then they live in houses. You know, it sucks. I'm just going to say it. You don't hear the other side. You don't hear his side. And I wish I could play it, but he told me. I got a lot of messages and they say, "Hey, Clint, don't play this." I'm like, damn it. You're saying good stuff, though. I can't say his name. I'm not going to say his name, and I can't play it. But people have went to his house. The community went to his house, spray painted his house, killed the pigs. They have been threatened death, threatened to kill. He said a couple other things. A sledgehammer? Somebody attacked his dog with a sledgehammer? He's had people come to his house, literally knock on his door. I think while he was working, he was almost stabbed in the head. Anyways, this member, I hope you avoid PTSD. I hope you're one of the few that can avoid it. But you don't hear about that shit, do you? You don't hear about the media reporting that. You only hear the one side. You only hear somebody else's side. Why is that? Why is that? At one point, this member had to evacuate his entire family out of the community. They were the only white people in the community. But you don't hear about that. No. A white man cannot be a victim. That's kind of like how it is lately. I can't say that. I feel racist saying that. Why is that? I ask myself, why did I only know about one side? And there's two reasons why. The media not reporting it, and me being closed-minded. I was closed-minded. It was easier. Life was a lot easier. Maybe that's why people only want to hear one side. I think it's easier being closed-minded. I think it's easier going around being closed-minded. And is this working? Testing. Yes, it is. I'm going to share something with you. And I know this is not my best work. But tough titty. My parents told me, you shouldn't drink in your podcast because it takes your credibility away. They might be right. But what do you want to watch? Ouch. Do you want to watch CTV and Global News, where they're just most of the time full of shit? And wouldn't you rather listen to I don't get it right all the time. Don't even listen to me. Don't even listen to my opinions. I'm just sharing them because I want to. But I would rather watch a guy that sits and talks about stories and stuff like this with a couple of drinks. I wish I could turn on the news. Literally, I wish the global news guy, Squire Barnes. I wish Squire Barnes was sitting down with a beer talking about sports. That's what I would want. And maybe smoking a cigar and or a vape pen. And just talking from his heart instead of what their bosses want him to say, right? I don't know. To me, it's more real. I like real, and I think it's. Aren't we tired of? Fuck, guys! I watched CNN my entire life. They told me Trump colluded with Russia. Turns out that's a lie. That's not true. People are going to go to jail for it. Mueller did an investigation. Trump won. He proved that he never did. And CNN is still on air. No repercussions at all. I can't speak, I know. It's not the alcohol, it's just that I can't talk. I'm on Facebook, okay? I think that's all I wanted to say about that, but you have to hear this. Yeah. I'm on Facebook. I don't know, 2 days ago? Somebody I know posted something about a newspaper and they said, who got this paper? This was with a post. Who else got this paper delivered to their house? Epoch? I think it's Epoch. It's called Epoch. I didn't know this thing existed at all. And I don't even know what they're talking about. I don't even know. I have no idea what they're talking about, but they're talking about the newspaper on Facebook. And I read all the comments. I went into every single comment. I want to know about this newspaper and how do I get a copy. Just a couple of the comments that I read on this Facebook post. Cynthia says, I don't even know if I should be doing this. There's like 10,000 people in this town. You know what Cynthia said? Yep, went in the fire. So she didn't read it. She threw it in the fire. Like, holy shit. Must be quite the paper. Tanya says, makes for great fire starter. Okay. It's page 1. Shannon, we did too. It's garbage. Okay. Well, this must be... Yeah. Kimmy said, went straight to the fire bin. LOL. Guess it's funny. I don't know. It's real funny stuff. Some other guy says, yes, looked at it. Burn it. Okay, you burnt it. Somebody else said, I don't know if I should... Stephanie said, yes, recycled? Did you want it? Laugh out loud. And then somebody else said, could always use paper to start the wood stove. Oh my God, this is getting old. Dennis said, perfect fire starter. Dennis, like, do you not realize what everybody's saying here? Okay, they've already said that. Oh yeah. So then the person that delivered them, I delivered 750 of them to my mail customers. It's garbage. It's garbage. And I'm thinking, I got to get a copy of this. I got to get a copy of this. I don't even know what they're talking about. I don't even know what they're talking about. Diane said, yes, they're all in the garbage by my post box. I guess she has a garbage by her post box. I don't know. They're all in my garbage by my post box. Sounds sexual. Karen, I just toss it in the recycle bin. TBH. I don't know what TBH is. That's how old I am, right? To be, I don't know, honored? I know that's not what it is, and I know you know what it is, but I don't know what TBH is. And then I wrote, I want a copy. Oh, how about a good one? There's one good one out of all of them. I think it's very informative and interesting. Real news. How about that? That's what this person wrote. Like, holy shit. So that's when I wrote, I want a copy. And they told me I could get one for $3.43 a week. That's what my cousin wrote in. Clint, it will cost you $3.43 per week. Laugh out loud. I don't know why that's funny. Brenda, yes, it's crap. It's crap. Jesse. Oh, Jesse. He's very informative. Quick Google says it's a far-right newspaper. That must be true then, right? Far-right newspaper owned by Chinese religious cult. Far-right newspaper owned by Chinese religious cult. Linda. Yep, it's in the recycle. It went. Somebody else, might be worth the postage to put it in an envelope. I don't know why you would do that. And send them back to their home address and swamp them. Oh, okay. So he wants everybody to take this, give it back to them because it's not worth reading. It's crap. It's garbage. It's fire starter. I'm annoyed that you sent it to my house for free. So I grabbed a copy. And I started reading it. I had to see what was so terrible about this newspaper. Why do I find this is so boring to you? But I have to talk about it. I'm sorry I have to talk about it. I think it is what is wrong with our world, that we don't listen to two sides. How can you not listen to two sides? There's two sides to every story. How can you not listen to it? They didn't even read it. Some of them didn't even read. They just threw it away. Put it in the fire. And I can't get mad at that. I was like that. It's a religious cult from China or something like that. So I open it up. And I'm not going to read you the newspaper. But I couldn't put it down when I opened it up. Why? Why is that? Right off the top, Canadian pension money. What's Canadian pension money keeps pouring into China as risks escalate. That sounds kind of interesting. Would you not want to read that? Maybe not. I don't know. Front page. Opposition to virus lockdowns mounts among health experts. No wonder why they don't want to read that, right? There can't be an opposition to virus lockdowns. That's racist, wrong, and whatever else. It goes against everything that I've been told. This is going in the fire bin. There's an opposition to virus lockdowns? And health experts are agreeing with that? Policymakers are saying that lockdowns do more harm than good, saying other measures to deal with the pandemic should be adopted. What? I can't hear that. You can't say that. They're urging world leaders to stop using lockdowns as the primary control method against the spread of the virus. Huh? A group from Harvard and Stanford? What do they know? It's only Harvard and Stanford. What'd they say? They wrote a declaration against lockdown measures, expressing concern about physical and mental impacts of the policies. How dare you? This is garbage. This is garbage. So next headline. China had COVID-like patients in hospital months before official timeline. What? I don't want to read about that. I don't want to read about China having COVID-like patients in hospital months before official timeline. Because that's not true. Right? That's bullshit. A series of leaked documents show that patients in China with symptoms similar to COVID-19 were hospitalized months before the timeline in September 2019. Can't be true. It can't be true. How dare this racist paper from China talk about shit that I disagree with. I'm not even going to look at it. I'm going to throw it away. It talks about how the lockdowns are making poor people an awful lot poorer. What? That's not true. It's making poor people richer. Right? How dare they talk like that? Current lockdown policies are producing devastating effects on short and long-term public health, says this declaration. Bullshit. Why would you talk such horseshit? Worsening cardiovascular disease outcomes, fewer cancer screenings, lower childhood vaccination rates, and mental health issues, to name a few. All of which will lead to high mortality rates in years to come, it says. It adds that keeping students out of school is a grave injustice. I see why you would burn this paper. Because it just goes against everything that you as a person believe. Biden declares victory. Trump says election far from over. Oh, what? How dare him? How dare Trump say that? Biden declares victory, and we are for Biden, right? He's not going to last 4 years because of deteriorating Alzheimer's. Can you believe they elected a guy that's not even going to be able to do the job for 4 years? Trump says election far from over. Because there might be voter fraud, right? But no. You will not tell me. You will not put in my... I'm not listening. I'm not listening. I don't want to hear about voter fraud, okay? I'm not going to read that. Canadian pension money keeps pouring into China as risks escalate. I'm not interested. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear this. Because I know it's a lie. It's a lie. China's good. China's a great place to live. Do you want to live in China? I understand why you threw it in the garbage, why you put it in the fire bin right beside your box. I get it. High potency marijuana. Let's start that over. High potency marijuana, psychosis, and suicide. Johnny Stack's story. So I read this story. Look at this family. Look at that family. I don't know if you can see it. This kid was 14 years old. He had a beautiful family, had a beautiful mother and father. And it's a great story about what marijuana can do. What it can do to the brain. Johnny was 19, addicted to high potency marijuana. The first time he took it was when he was 14. In Colorado. Colorado was the first one to legalize it. So he started taking it. And he had cannabis-induced psychosis because cannabis can increase the risk of developing psychosis and schizophrenia in a developing brain. He's in and out of psych wards. He texts his mom one night from college and says, "Hey, Mom, I don't have any friends." Mom replies, "It's normal to not have any friends when you first get there." And he said, "Is it normal to want to kill yourself every single day?" So the parents try to get him help. They do everything they can. And he jumps off a building and kills himself eventually. Did you guys even know that? Do you even care? No, you didn't know that. You threw it in the garbage. See, this is the shit that why would you have a chance to learn. Well, I like marijuana. Okay? I do. I love marijuana. I just started doing. I don't do marijuana. But I've done it I did it in the summertime. And I think it's amazing. I don't know if I should have said that, but I do. I'm not against marijuana. I smoked it for the first time in, 30 years. Went into my bathroom and flossed the same tooth for 10 minutes. It's great. I love it. I know I've already said that before, but I shouldn't say I love it. I like it every now and then. And that's what you get to do if you're a city cop. Every now and then. But I don't agree. I don't want my kids doing marijuana before the age of 25. Why? I'm going to tell you why. It triggers cannabis-induced psychosis, especially in teens. It can increase the risk of developing psychosis and schizophrenia. This kid had a 4.2 grade point, went to absolutely failing, and then killing himself. Marijuana is terrible for a developing mind. Can be terrible for a developing mind. Let's move on. Because we don't want to hear about this. Right? We'd rather read other papers. Opioid crisis, a leading cause of preventable deaths. Why am I doing this? Opioid crisis, a leading cause of preventable deaths. Report. Bullshit. About 13 Canadians died every day as a result of opioids in 2018. While unintentional poisonings have surpassed motor vehicle collisions as a major cause of preventable death in Canada. This is the shit you need to ignore. Canada relatively safe from attacks but shouldn't be complacent. Terrorism expert. There certainly have been terrorist acts and plots and always the possibility of them here. What? And we should always recognize that. Never. I will not. I am burning this paper. After I'm done reading this to you, I'm burning it. This is from a cult. This paper's from a cult. Not only any cult, a religious one. Religious cult. And that's terrible. Like, are the religious cults? Those are the worst ones ever, right? You throw religion into it. Talks about liberalism and remembering Franklin D. Roosevelt. No, I will not. After 75 years, I will. He's racist. He's a racist. I'm not going to remember any good this guy did. I refuse. I refuse to read about a former president that did great things. Oh my God. How about this one? The destructive fallout of male emasculation. What? There's no such thing. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Denouncing the very essence of their natures, young boys, can lead to destructive rage. What a crock of shit. There's nothing wrong with her. I can't believe they're talking like this. The war on boys? Is there a problem with boys? Juvenile, male, underachievement is a Western epidemic, and boys are falling behind across many metrics. In 1960, 1 in 10 boys were raised without a father in the home. Today, that number is closer to 1 in 4. With a strong male role model, it's irrefutable that boys do better in nearly every avenue in life. Come on. Are you really going to believe that a boy is better off with a mother and father? Come on. Where's my lighter? Where is my lighter? It goes on to say, classrooms are not equipped to harness the restless and rambunctious nature of boys. Instead of refocusing that exuberant energy, drugs and social constraints are prescribed to fix the problem. Schools ban dodgeball, tag, even recess in an attempt to curb bullying and aggression, even when these activities are shown to be a healthy outlet for children and their social development. Without competition, the beneficial loop of effort success is broken, and boys become stagnant, left with the requisite skill set to contend with the complicated world. There is more interest in building safety nets for children. With the proper reframe, the education system can teach boys how to fail forward, and embrace failure as the surest way to success. Failure avoidance creates paranoia. Hey, cops, don't it? And a desire to save face, suppressing the path to wisdom and a healthy sense of worth. This is terrible shit. How dare they write this? I'll stop being a dick for a second, but it's funny. My kid comes home from school and he tells me stories. And sometimes I'm like, it's almost like you're getting punished for being a boy. Why are the boys always in trouble? Why are the girls sweet little angels? Is it possible that the teachers want the boys to act like the girls? You know what I mean? Is that possible? Why aren't the girls punished for not acting like boys? The boys speak out. They're acting like boys. And we punish them, don't we? I went to school. No girl was getting in trouble. My kid's going to school and tells me that the girls never get in trouble. It's always the boys. Is that healthy? Is that healthy? Did you know about this? No, you didn't. Because you burnt it. Right? You burnt it, Christy. Threw it in the garbage. I don't want to read it anymore. Because I'm sticking to my side, and I don't want it interrupting with what I believe. And teachers need to speak out. Nope. No, they don't. No, they... Next part. This is completely racist. Mind and body. No, don't you dare talk. The pandemic has led us to overeat, overdrink, and overwatch, but we can change that. What? It has not. You liar. You lie. Oh, look at. You could even do a little thingy dingy right there. Don't they all have that? What's this page? I don't know. Think big, act small? No. No. I will not think big and act small. Think big, act small? I don't even know what they're talking about there. What's this one? A loving nudge toward healthier habits. No, you will not talk to me about fake healthier habits. Don't you count every day as precious? No. It's not. Every day is not precious. You're messing me up here. Where's my bin? Where's my bin? Be firm with yourself. Nope. Be patient with yourself? Absolutely not. Why would I do that? Look for opportunities to control what you can. Yeah, right. Ask for help. Never. You're a cult. A religious one. This is disgusting. What's this one? How to take positive lessons from negative people. Why would I read that? That's not helpful, right? Even though the most I ever learned in the RCMP was from some of the worst bosses on what not to do. Anyways, I didn't read it. I never learned lessons from negative people because I threw this in the garbage. All things are fleeting, and our short time on earth can be filled with annoyances if we allow ourselves to be annoyed. That's gross. That's disgusting that you would even talk like that. Culture and tradition, not interested. Not interested whatsoever. What's this one? Treat her like a lady. Let's bring back chivalry. Am I saying chivalry right? Treat her like a lady. What? They wrote an article about treating. And are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? It's not a picture of two transgender people. It's a man, and they're white. It's a white lady and a white man. This is the racist paper I've ever seen. And what are they talking? It's just an article about encouraging the making of mature, respectful, marriage-minded men. Wow, what? It's an article about encouraging the making of mature, respectful, marriage-minded men. No, I'm not watching. I'm not going to read this. I'm not reading this. This is horseshit. This is absolute horseshit. I refuse to learn about respect, sense, and sensitivity and manners. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. And then there's a full page about China, communist China, that absolutely not. I'm not going to learn about China. I don't want to learn about China. I don't want to learn about how bad they are, how terrible they are, because that's racist. The China government, they're doing a great job, right? Doing a great job. And fuck. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I guess that is a horrific paper. That I might subscribe to, because I couldn't put it down to be the truth. This is the main event. This is the local paper. This is what they don't throw away. This is what they don't want to put in the recycle bin. They want to read it. This is what this town is in. Facts. This stuff. I mean, you can't put this down. This is interesting. This is the interesting news right here, guys. The local newspaper, the main event, right? Now let's just briefly go through it. First of all, we have to get rid of some things, right? Because it's awfully thick. So let's get rid of the stuff that... There we go. That's better, right? Oh, there's more flyers. Right. There we go. Let's get down to the heart. There. Now we got the paper. You don't want to throw that away. You don't want to recycle that, because that's gold. I just threw away the gold. Main event. What happened in Port Alberni? Oh, we got it right on the front page. Nowhere to live. A mother battles to find housing for her son. My first thought is, well, how did the son get like that? That's the real story, isn't it? Oh, we heard it from the other one. Marijuana drove their son to death. Are we going to learn about the real one here? No, we're not. Okay, this son was kicked out of shelters in our community because he pissed in a garbage can, he broke some windows, and he broke a gate. And I feel terrible for the mom. The mom's doing everything she can for her son. And what does the mom want? I'll get back to that in a second. But that's the front page. Apartments declared unsafe. What's the next one? COVID-19 can't stop kettle campaign. Whatever that means. What's the next one? COVID-19 outbreak declared at care home. Lovely. Okay. Learning so much. So trailers lead to fines. So this guy in town opens up his property to all trailers. So he's got a bunch of trailers on his property, and they're trying to save some bucks because I think they're homeless. There's a lot of homeless in this. Oh, Bread of Life to open as warming centers. So the whole paper's about homeless in our community. Oh, here we go. Low barrier housing is a critical need in Port Alberni, the mayor says. So this brings me back to the first page. They go from nowhere to live to we need low barrier housing in Port Alberni. So this poor bugger that's on the streets, he's got a drug addiction. He's got a drug addiction in Port Alberni. And it's actually quite sad because the mom is trying to do everything she can. Do I watch this person die on the street, or do I do whatever I can? And that's what I would do, right? I guess that's what I would do. It's hard to argue that comment. But the mayor wants low barrier housing. You bring shelters to our city. You bring low barrier housing. But low barrier housing is just saying, go into your room and do your math. Let's enable you. Let's enable your habit. The drug habit that you have, let's enable it. And that's what shelters do too, right? Nobody wants to really hear that part of it. When people think about homeless, they think about pursuit of happiness. Like there's actually a mom and father that lost their job with their children when they're on the streets. Doesn't exist. Been a cop for a lot of years, never once seen true people that are homeless. We need to stop calling them homeless. Let's start with drug addicts. People suffering from mental health, the real issues. Drug addicts, stop calling them homeless. Some of them want to be homeless. Would you not want to be homeless if you had a drug addiction? I could go get welfare. I could get paid. I could go to the shelter. I got free rent. I got free food. And I have all this money to support my habit. Thank you for the roof. Thank you for the free food. And thank you for allowing me to keep up with my addiction. I have a son if I ever kicked him out of the house, let's say he was 18 and I kicked him out of the house because he was doing drugs. The worst thing that can happen to my son is another parent takes him in, puts a roof over his head. What I want is my son to come back to my house, his house. But that parent is enabling his addiction. Let's say that parent kicks him out. Let's say he just goes to the shelter. He goes to the shelter that was built in the community. He goes and applies for welfare. He applies for welfare. Now he's got money, drugs, free rent, and food. The mayor wants to build more housing for the homeless, low barrier housing. Don't ever complain about crime in this town. For anybody who wants this, do not complain about crime. Who do you think's committing the crime? It's the people who have an addiction to drugs and alcohol, who need to supply their addiction. So don't complain about crime in our town when you want more homeless shelters, homeless centers. Let's wrap it up. There's so much more I've written, but I'm just not going to get into it. I feel bad for that mom. Tent City, evicted again. Like every page. Every page. This is the paper they're not throwing away. Neighbors need to step up for change. I want my voice heard. I want to say, as a community, we need to stop this madness with crimes in our town. We'll stop the homeless shelters. If you build it, they'll come. When I grew up in this town, there wasn't one. There was nothing. There was no homeless. There was no hookers. But we enable them. What do you do, right? What do? You have to fix their mental health. You have to fix their drug addiction. You don't do it by building them shelter and giving them food and heat. And when nature calls, where do you go? This is another article. When you've got to go, where do you go? What about if you're homeless? Now, where do you go? Oh my God. It's every page. This is the paper that local businesses need to local support during holidays. Do you know how much it is to shop at a local business? This is seniors. Alberni Senior raises funds for the less fortunate. This is our paper. This is the one that they're framing. Clippers win Island Cup. Who gives a rat's ass? It's who really? Do you care that the Clippers win the Island Cup? Oh, now we got dead people. Okay, there's a bunch of dead people here. A parade for a 60th anniversary. I'm going to learn so much by reading that one, aren't I? Yeah, more dead people. Oh, classifieds. This used to be loaded in PA with jobs. Loaded in jobs. There's one job. And you can be a park manager or something like that. That's it. No jobs. Roland Arts Center. Oh, okay. Mistletoe. They're bringing the mistletoe market back. Okay. I'm just going to say bye-bye because my tape's going to end. And I don't got anything witty to say. I've never done this, but maybe I'll just let's pretend I said bye-bye. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye. Okay? I know I'm getting sloppy at this, but there's some things I wrote down on my phone. I guess my point is, why not, if there's two sides, why not listen to it? Why burn it? Why burn the one side? Don't you want to hear both sides? It's important to open your mind and listen to both sides. I'm not going to be mad at you if you don't share my view, but aren't views important? That's what we elect people on. We elected Trudeau on his views because his views were similar to yours, right? So how can you just burn it? How can you throw it in the recycle bin? And that's what it comes down to, systemic racism. You hear one view. One view, so you think it exists. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Systemic racism in policing doesn't exist.